11 Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the Simulation Football League.
Welcome to the Eye in Anchorage, Alaska for the Week 11 Fan Night Game of the Week as the 8-1 Baltimore Vultures get set to take on the 6-3 Alaska Storm. Good evening, everyone. I am Mike Daggs, your play-by-play commentator tonight. Alongside me in the booth is the Hall of Fame quarterback of the Mexico City Aztecs, Matt Wilson. Our production crew tonight is led by Commissioner and producer Cameron Irvine, along with Nathan Blake, tracking our live stats. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Matt, how you doing tonight?
I'm great. I'm really excited for this game tonight.
Huge playoff implications for both teams. Baltimore's 8-1, but there are three teams right now hot on their heels at 8-2. Potentially four if Chicago wins their game that's going on right now in the fourth quarter. Alaska is at 6-3. They need the win so they don't end up falling behind the pack. Atlanta's at 6-4, right behind them, and there's three teams close behind at 5-5. Baltimore's put up points by the truckload this season, averaging almost 32 per game. They even put up 30 points on the board in their one loss. Alaska's been up and down, but have put 30 points plus on the board four times themselves. There's a lot on the line only 2 weeks ago. What are you expecting from these two teams tonight, Matt?
Yeah, Mike, this is a matchup between two of the best franchises and coaches in NFL history. Both teams have their work cut out for them tonight. An important factor, I think, is running back effectiveness. Looking at the past games, Baltimore's only loss, and many of Alaska's, came when the running game was stifled, forcing the offense to become one-dimensional. I'm not looking for a yards comparison between the two teams, rather which back or combination of backs is more effective in their respective scheme. Which team will reign supreme, Mike? There's only one way to find out, and that's on the field.
All right, Matt, this is only the fourth meeting between these two teams. The series currently in favor of Baltimore. 2 wins for Baltimore compared to 1 for Alaska. Let's head down to the field, get this one started. Alaska has the ball teed up, and we are underway here in Anchorage. Deep into the end zone. Baltimore fields the kick. That is Giovanni Bolt, the return man, and I believe the kicker for Alaska is going to try to do his best to keep it out of the hands of Bolt as much as possible. Bolt with both a kick return and a punt return touchdown on the season. He's been fantastic on special teams for the Vultures. Leading the offense out onto the field is quarterback Mike Dazzo. 3 wide, 1 back in the backfield. Dazzo under center. Dazzo will pass on first down, checks it down in the backfield to T. Roy Gaines, trucking through the defender and on the move all the way up to the 40-yard line. They'll mark him out at the 39, and let's take a look at the key players here on this Baltimore Vulture offense. We mentioned quarterback Mike Dazzo, and there he is, T. Roy Gaines. Wide receivers are Bishop Warfield and Daley Holder. The tight end wearing number 83 is Lloyd Graham Jr., who is celebrating his birthday tonight up here in Anchorage. First down and 10 from the 39-yard line, offset I formation. Ball is handed off to the fullback, running up the middle. Gain of only 1, 2nd and 9.
Well, I said back or combinations of back. I didn't expect Baltimore to use their fullback, but, trying to throw a new wrinkle in the game, I guess.
Chad Morgan with that carry. 2nd down and 9. Alaska showing a 4-3 defense. Gaines takes the handoff, running up the middle, and he is absolutely leveled. Taken down at the 45-yard line. Tackled by Andrew Francis. Let's take a look at the key players here on this Alaska Storm defense. You know him, I know him. Big, sexy number 69, Alex Dominguez, the defensive tackle. Inside linebackers, Frank Champion. Your corners are Ryan Davidson and Evan Carroll. Safeties are Ryan Tobin, and you just saw him level Gaines, Andrew Francis. Dazzo throws on 3rd down, and that one is complete. Bishop Warfield hauling in the first down completion to the Alaska 42-yard line.
Yeah, soft coverage there. Dazzo found him immediately, and basically his completion, moves the sticks, and if you're Alaska, you don't want to see that.
Dazzo under center on first down. Gaines takes the handoff, running up the middle, and he goes nowhere. Tackled right at the line of scrimmage. Will give him a gain of 1 as Frank Champion with the tackle. Frank has 43 tackles coming into the game today, Matt. 5 tackles for a loss. That one, he did surrender a 1-yard
Almost.
gain, but yeah, almost had another one there.
Yeah, how do you beat the run up the middle? Linebacker blitz.
Trips formation to the top of the screen. Dazzo fires down to the bottom on an out route. That one hauled in by the birthday boy, Lloyd Graham Jr., 6'6" tight end. Be 3rd and inches coming up.
Graham trying to spin. I think if he lowered his head a little bit, he might have gotten that first down. We'll see if that is going to make any difference right here.
So on 3rd down and inches, offset I formation. Looks like a run.
I like this formation for a run.
Ball's once again handed off to the fullback, and plenty of yards there for him on that carry. Chad Morgan rumbling his way up to the 24-yard line, 1st down.
Baltimore coaching staff, again, 2 of the best coaches in the league. They must have saw something defensively from Alaska that would allow the fullback to get that many yards. I don't know. They're not the 2 best coaches in the league for nothing.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about, Matt, is scouting your opponent week after week and coming up with the ultimate game plan that you think can take advantage of something that, maybe other teams haven't seen yet. As you try to eke out as many wins as you can. Baltimore doing it well, 8-1 so far on the season. Out route to Warfield. That one is caught, gain of 3 before he steps out of bounds. 2nd down and 7.
I'm just wondering if that fullback run's going to be, heavily featured. I mean, we've already seen it twice on this drive.
Yeah, twice in one drive. It's a good sign that we'll probably see it more.
Because when I said combination of backs, I was thinking Alaska because they usually run the fullback and the halfback, not Baltimore. So color me surprised. Whatever color that is, maybe red.
A little sign of embarrassment, perhaps. Oh, T-Roy Gaines spinning off the defender. Way to break the tackle. Gets his way up to the 19-yard line. Gain of about 5. He'll bring up a 3rd down and 4. Already converted a 3rd down earlier on this drive. Let's see if they can convert another one.
Right now, unfortunately for T-Roy, the fullback is averaging more yards per carry, I think.
I have a feeling that Gaines will get that turned around here in short order. Split backs in the backfield behind Dazzo. Dazzo will pass. Quick pass over the middle. That one's caught for a 1st down up to the 11-yard line. I believe that was Graham again.
Okay.
It is indeed Graham. A little slow to get up. He is a day older than he was yesterday now, Matt.
Yeah, every day you just get more and more. Your body just breaks down more and more, so enjoy it while you got it.
Offset I on 1st down and 10. Baltimore on a convincing drive already as they're working their way methodically down the field. Dazzo will throw out route to Warfield on the bottom of the screen. Another 3-yard gain for Warfield. I think it's the same route and same amount of yards gained as we saw a couple plays ago.
So we're seeing out routes to Warfield and fullback runs. That's been kind of, at least so far this drive, the pattern of the play calling, along with some other stuff mixed in. But they can't run that play too many more times on this drive, unless they get 5 yards here.
Dazzle will throw on 2nd down. Short pass over the middle. That one is complete. Hauled in by G.R. Malone, one of the backup receivers. Gain up to the 3-yard line, 3rd down and 2. And Matt, they can actually get another 1st down before scoring. I'm sure that's not the goal. They'd rather punch it in right here, but
I'd rather be
a fresh set of downs. So 3rd down and 2. Dazzo will throw again. Another out route to the bottom. That one caught by Daley Holder. Holder with his 3rd touchdown on the season. Baltimore puts points on the board here first in Alaska.
Can't do it much clearer than that, even though the running game wasn't spectacular. Another out route. I don't know where that man's going with his zone, but he should have followed Holder. And again, that's something that the staff must have seen on film. The out routes, they're playing the out routes soft, so we're going to go to them and see what happens, and it's paid off so far. Kind of taking a page out of Alaska's playbook. They were usually the out route kings.
Dazzo, 29 of 41 for 354 yards and 3 touchdowns last week, Matt. 8 of 8 on that drive for 62 yards, and obviously his touchdown pass. Shark Tarkington with the point after try. The kick is up, and it's through. 7-0 Baltimore over Alaska here early.
don't expect many missed kicks tonight. We have two very, very well-paid field goal and extra point kickers. So
That's right, yeah.
lots of deep kickoffs and lots of made field goals and extra points. That shouldn't be an issue tonight for either team.
And we saw the opening kickoff by Alaska go deep into the left end zone. We'll see if maybe the wind was affecting that one as Tarkington kicks this one off towards the right, and that one
Yeah.
right back to the goal line. So it looks like the wind is going to be blowing right to left as you're watching on your screens. That kick taken back by Robert Merrill up to the 23-yard line. And Matt, we're going to see the Alaska Storm offense get out on the field, led
Finally.
by your dear friend, quarterback Ron Cochran. The two of you have been going head-to-head for many a season, and it's always been a fun one to watch. Cochran joined on the field by his offense, E.J. Minson, the halfback, J.W. Doyle, the fullback. Wide receivers are Robert Merrill, Jeff Como, and Optimus Klein. Cochran throws to the bottom of the screen, and that one is caught out route complete to Como, the leading receiver from last week for the Storm. Como had 80 yards and a touchdown. Matt, they really spread the ball around to a lot of receivers last week. There was no one receiver that really took the top off the defense. Like I said, Como led the offense with receptions, 6 receptions, 80 yards and a touchdown, and that was leading the game for him.
Here's where you got to watch the fullback for Alaska. This is really like to get him involved.
J.W. Doyle heavily featured in this offense, and there he goes, rumbling his way up the middle. A nice, easy first down for Doyle in the Alaska Storm offense. Let's take a look at the key players here.
Oh, no.
That's
wow. Doyle.
Doyle down after that hit.
That's not good.
No, we just mentioned how he's heavily featured, and down he goes.
Oh, he got hit late. Watch. He gets wrapped up here, and then watch this tackle down. Oh. I don't know if it's an upper or lower body injury, but that's going to put until he comes back, a little bit of and
it's going to add quite the wrinkle here.
Yeah, it's just
you
going
see him standing on the sideline, so that's a good sign.
Yeah, but how long will he be out? That'll be the key.
3 wide, tight end, and a halfback on the field now for the Storm. It kind of changes their whole dynamic on offense as that pass is complete to Mark Myers, the tight end. First down and 10 for Alaska at the 49-yard line. Now let's try to take a look at the key players on the Baltimore Vulture defense. Defensive tackle Tucker Lewis just signed this past week. Defensive ends are Chad Rowland and Mac Chima. Linebackers are Joe Dazzo, Sir Ron Yates IV, and Amon Takes. Cornerbacks are Kaz McFly, Hendricks Thornberry, and the safeties are Marvin Himes, Tony Willis, and Giovanni Bolt. There's quite a few players to mention there. Ball is handed off, running straight up the middle. His backup halfback, Joshua Paul. Nice gain of 7 will bring up a second down and 3.
Well, that's how you stop a spin. Just dive right into him, I guess. Alaska could still use the fullback, though. Baltimore had a lot of success using theirs, even though they don't feature theirs as much. So we'll see if this is another fullback run. It's similar formation as last time.
Once again, the ball is... Wow. Painful hit there. Amon Takes with the tackle. Ball was taken by Joshua Paul.
That one looked a little bit different than the first time they ran it with Doyle.
Third down and 3 from the Baltimore 44-yard line. Alaska looking to get another first down to keep their drive alive, trying to answer back to Baltimore's quick score. Cochran will throw. Out route, top of the screen. That one is complete. Hauled in by Como again on the out route.
If you're not covering the out routes, you're in trouble with Alaska. Make Cochran beat you over the middle deep, but take away, that's his favorite weapon, the out route.
Appreciate everybody joining us tonight for the Simulation Football League Fan Night Game of the Week. Game voted in by the fans is the one that they wanted to see featured tonight. And it's a good one. Baltimore at Alaska. Cochran to throw. Down he goes. Sacked on the play. Brought down in the backfield by Chad Rowland, the defensive end.
Yeah, Rowland, not one of the higher paid men on this roster, but you know what? It doesn't matter. You crush Ron Cochran, you're doing a good job.
Yep, a sack's a sack. It doesn't matter who makes it, right?
No.
Cochran in the gun on second down and 14. has plenty of time. Fires over the middle into traffic, and that pass was actually broken up by the receiver, I think. It looked like it was intended for Merrill, and I think Optimus Klein actually got in the way.
Whoops. You got to read on that play a little bit. The receivers don't want to...
Keep your head on the swivel, Klein.
Yeah, they might got a little bit bumped into each other. I'm not sure, but this is right where you want Alaska. They like to call a lot of outs. Let's see if they have a play a little bit deeper down the field with their playbook.
4 wide on 3rd and 14. Cochran fires over the middle, complete, but that one is going to be short of the line to gain. 4th down and 3 from the 29. But Matt, you mentioned it earlier.
Yeah.
The kickers in tonight's game are fantastic. Aaron DeHood, the 6'2" kicker for the Alaska Storm on the field. He's 19 of 20 so far on the season. His long is 52. This one is going to be from about, 45 yards out. So well within his range. He's made more than one from 50, and you saw that kickoff go deep into the back of the end zone. Good snap, kick is up, plenty of distance.
Oh, yeah.
And it's good.
He's got the wind, too.
He might be able to hit one from 65 going that direction.
Yeah, with that amount of wind that we saw, I've never seen a kick so far deep in the back of the end zone, almost through the end zone. I mean, look at this.
Yeah. It hit the top of the net almost. So 7-3 Baltimore over the Storm. Baltimore get another shot at it after this break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music. Welcome back to the Eye in Anchorage. I'm Mike Daggs on play-by-play, joined in the booth by Matt Wilson, the Hall of Fame quarterback of the Aztecs. Kickoff once again deep back into the back of the end zone. Bolt will take a knee. Matt, let's turn it over to Cameron Irvine. He's got an update for us on the other game that was going on at the same time as ours tonight.
Thank you, Mike. Well, Chicago lets one get away from them at home, losing to 2-7 Houston, 21-20. The Wildcats are now 7-3, and with an Alaska win, would fall out of the top 6. Back to the Silver Fox, Mike Daggs, and the luxurious Matt Wilson.
The Silver Fox. Okay, well, thank you, Cam. I think we'll come back to that. Not that I was aware of. Anyhow, 2nd down and 10.
Time to get some, what was that? GX?
Just for men?
Yeah, just for men.
I don't know. The commish thinks I'm a Silver Fox. I guess, I don't know. That means something, and I'm not sure what. Offset I formation on 2nd down. Ball is handed off to Gaines. Hit at the line, trying to drag a defender with him, but that's Frank Champion on his back. You're only going to be able to drag him so far. Gains 1, 3rd and 9.
Good stuff from Alaska here. This is right where you want them. And look at our updated top 6.
Yeah, absolutely. Denver in the lead. And Baltimore, you see them right there at number 2. Tallahassee, Seattle, Mexico City. I mean, look at that, Matt. 8-1, 8-2, 8-2, now 7-3. It's going to be quite a race to the end. Bishop Warfield with that catch over the middle. That one's good for another Baltimore 1st down. They're going to keep this drive moving.
Yep, another slant. They've been running that too. A lot of slants, deeper and shallower slants. Nothing really just heave-ho. Just everything's all nicely in rhythm. Try to keep it away from Dominguez on your quarterback. Always a good idea. Just quick, accurate passes.
Dominguez suspiciously quiet in Alaska's last game, Matt. 0 sacks. They did a good job containing the all-time SFL sack leader. Gaines rumbling up the middle, spins his way to the 43-yard line, gains 8 on the play. And Matt, we mentioned how, this game has huge playoff implications, and with Chicago losing, it actually almost makes it a little bigger for each of these teams. Baltimore sitting, high and mighty up there at number 2, but they don't want to lose this game and go to 8-2 and be in the mix with those 3 other teams. But also now for Chicago and for Alaska, if Alaska wins, they could actually bump Chicago out of that spot and take that number 6 spot. Now, it's important to note for the viewers, the top 10 teams in the Simulation Football League make it into the playoffs. So it's not just about that top 6. You can also see the wild card race. Those you see 7, 8, 9, and 10, with Tulsa and Las Vegas sitting just outside that dashed line of doom. Everybody wants to be above that line. So
I call it the guillotine.
The guillotine, yeah, that makes sense. There's Alex Dominguez making a stop to that run by Gaines at the 45-yard line. And Matt, that's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter of action here in the Week 11 Simulation Football League Fan Night Game of the Week. Baltimore 7, Alaska 3. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. We'll be back just a bit. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on the 11 Sports Network is presented by APM Music, Production Music Library and Custom Music House, and brought to you in part by Fuel Beyond Imagination. Visit the all-new SFLinteractive.net today. By Matt Doyle Designs, the official branding partner of the SFL, and by MediaTek Institute. Turn your passion into your profession. Aerial shots brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage, such as those beautiful shots of Anchorage. Back here in the eye with Matt Wilson. I'm Mike Daggs in the booth tonight. Baltimore, second down and 10. Gaines carries it straight into that fierce defensive line, averaging only 2.6 yards per carry. And an update on Doyle. Bruce Sternum, he may return. And Matt, I know that Max Paul, the head coach of the Alaska Storm, is really hoping that Doyle can get back out there.
Just probably putting a flak jacket on, a bulletproof vest. All right, get back in there.
Yeah.
Look at this, a 3-3 set. Interesting. Oh,
quick
heavy
pass
blitz
by Dazzo, and that one's incomplete. Pressure was indeed coming up the middle.
That's a unique look on defense. I don't know why it just looked different to me, and they set a blitz and it just totally threw off that route, that timing route. So good on Alaska to hold Baltimore here.
That'll put an end to Baltimore's drive. Pablo Gates on to punt for the Vultures. And Baltimore now facing into the left. He should be able to get plenty of distance on this punt. Taken all the way back to the 14-yard line. Breaks through a couple of tackles, spinning his way all the way up to the 23-yard line. Nice return by Robert Merrill.
That was some slick Deion Sanders-esque moves there.
Yeah, absolutely. So what are you watching? This is the Simulation Football League. We're the world's first controllerless esports community, and you too can get involved. You can go from the couch to the field. We are still adding players to these rosters. There's even players in tonight's game that are seeing themselves on the field for the first time, and even if you're just seeing us for the first time tonight, you can get a player of your own and see yourself next week. That pass to Optimus Klein, one of the mainstays here in the league. Matt Klein's been in the league for 6 seasons now, having another great season this time around here in season 13 with over 1,000 yards, passing that 1,000-yard mark in his last game.
Here's some trivia for you. What was Optimus Klein's original position?
He was a tight end, Matt.
That's right. He's a traitor.
Oh, he's not a traitor. He just evolved.
So,
Nah, you're right. He's a traitor. Tight ends are people too, Matt. Klein. Unbelievable. Cochran back to throw. Checking it down in the backfield. That one to E.J. Minson. And Matt, I found out during the break, we mentioned how the tight end for the Baltimore Vultures, Lloyd Graham Jr., celebrating his birthday tonight. E.J. Minson celebrating his birthday tomorrow. So we got a birthday boy on both sides of the field. So
if we go into 9 overtimes, we can wish him a happy birthday.
Well, I guess, yeah, if it happens, it happens. But my goodness, 9? I think maybe just one overtime might get us there.
We'll see.
I formation for the Storm. That one handed off. Guess what, Matt? J.W. Doyle back out on the field, taking that carry for the first down. Flak jacket installed, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, try to hard hit him now. He might get a concussion.
First down and 10 from the 48-yard line. 9 minutes to go here in the first half. Vulture showing pressure, handed off to Doyle again. And Matt, that's what he brings to this offense.
Yeah.
Just kind of scooting right up the middle, turning sideways, fitting right through that small gap and getting all the way up to the 46-yard line now in Baltimore territory.
And I don't expect Doyle to outgain Gaines, but again, that's what I was saying. Which running back is more effective in the system they run, and they need Doyle to get those 4 or 5 yards to set their out routes and stuff.
That one taken by Minson up to the 44-yard line. 3rd down and 2. Yates the 4th with the tackle. And Matt, we mentioned how you can go from the couch to the field. There are so many players on this Baltimore defense that signed within the past few weeks since we started adding on these expansion roles. Oh, that pass broken up. Cochran hit as he was trying to release the ball. Mac Chima right on cue as I'm talking about our newest signees. Mac Chima makes that pass breakup. Chima, a Week 10 signing. We mentioned Tucker Lewis, the defensive tackle, was a Week 11 signing. Back in Week 9, they added free safety Marvin Himes. And Week 8, they added Sir Ron Yates, the linebacker. Back in Week 7, Chad Rowland, the defensive end. So all sorts of new players here on this Baltimore Vulture defense. And each one of them contributed on that drive to put a stop to the Alaska advancement. That one taken by Bolt back at the 15-yard line. 1st down and 10 for the Vultures. You are watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. We're going to take a 30-second break, and we'll get right back to the action. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to the Eye in Anchorage, Alaska. Baltimore first down and 10 from their own 15-yard line. Gaines alone in the backfield. Dazzle will throw, checks it down to Gaines right at the line of scrimmage, and a powerful hit by the Alaska defense. That was Evan Carroll with that tackle.
And the quarterback comparison, the difference is Dazzle with the touchdown, but neither one's made a mistake yet. So, with in a 7-3 game, just play good, clean football for now. We don't need to risk anything too much.
Second down and 7. Dazzo alone in the backfield, 4 wide, and his tight end fires over the middle to that tight end. Graham Jr. with the completion for the first down up to the 26-yard line. And, Matt, you mentioned that quarterback comparison. Dazzo, 10 of 11 so far with 80 yards, 90% completion percentage so far on the night. Cochran not too far off, 7 of 9, 78% completion percentage, 53 yards. He's doing a fantastic job as well.
Look at that cushion at the top of the screen. Well, never mind.
And they hand it off to Gaines, rumbling up the middle for a gain of 4 yards. They'll bring up a second down and 6. And, Matt, one of the things I noticed when we were prepping for this game is Dazzo actually is the most accurate quarterback in the league as far as completion percentage is concerned. So far on the season, while throwing for 2,500 plus yards and 16 touchdowns, he's completed 77% of his passes along the way. It's just an absolute phenomenal feat for him.
Oh, no.
Fullback running straight into Big Sexy. That's not going to work.
Yeah, no. The Marshmallow Man tackled him.
I forgot you call him the Marshmallow Man. That is just rude.
He looks like the Goodyear guy,
He does. He looks like the Stay Puffed.
Yeah, Stay Puffed
Marshmallow Man, yeah. Ghostbusters. 5 wide on third down and 7. Dazzo pump fakes, has time, throws over the middle into coverage. That one's complete. What a catch. Hauled in. Good for a first down all the way up to the 44-yard line. It's Edward Morgan on the reception.
Could have fooled me. Look at the nice cut by Morgan. Oh, he got pushed by the linebacker. Could have been illegal contact there. Makes the play and then gets some extra yards. I thought that was Warfield or Holder, but
I know.
Good job.
I know. Fighting for yards like that, you'd expect it to be one of the higher talented guys on this team, and nope. Everybody's making plays tonight. This game just means so much for both of these teams.
Yeah.
We're going to see some fireworks. It's only just getting started. 7-3 here. Dazzo checking it down to Gaines in the backfield. Gaines tries to spin past the defender. Can't do it. Tackled by Evan Carroll. Still gains 5 yards on the play. Will bring up a second down and 5 at the Baltimore 49-yard line as we tick down to 5 minutes to go here in the first half.
Gotta say, the damage is done, though. You get 5 yards. You're happy with that on first down. Very happy. So now Baltimore can go in their bag of tricks and see if they're going to just run it here with Gaines or maybe try one of their slants or outs.
Dazzo firing over the middle. That one's picked off. Intercepted.
Oh, God.
Wow, that was a painful hit. Returned by Andrew Francis all the way up to the 41-yard line. And, Matt, that's Andrew Francis's first interception on the season, if you can believe it, all the way here in Week 11.
Yeah, reading the eyes of the quarterback, running the route for the receiver. Then he gets, as another caster would say, baptized with that shot by a huge old lineman. I hope he's okay. See, that was the first time Baltimore went for something deep over the middle. They had been running those short, medium slants, out routes, and then they try something a little bit bigger, and they get dinged. Might want to throw that one in the trash for now.
Ron Cochran back out onto the field.
Whoa.
Takes the handoff to Minson and then gives it to Doyle. The defense not fooled. Yates with the tackle, 2nd and 9.
Good job by Yates maintaining gap integrity there, keeping an eye on where he was supposed to be. And I don't know if that play's going to work. We'll have to keep a tab on it if they run it again.
I formation on 2nd down. Ball's handed off to Doyle. Plenty of running room up to midfield. Nice gain on the play. Will bring up a 3rd down and an easily manageable one. Well, hopefully easily manageable one, right?
Well, you just give it to Doyle again. I mean, I don't see why not. I just come out heavy Snap right to Doyle, and he should pick up the first down unless Baltimore can string him out.
Yeah. Well, he's averaging 6 yards a carry on the night right now. So even though it's a long one, he shouldn't have too much trouble with it. Cochran does indeed hand it off to Doyle, and Doyle gains more than 6 on that one, getting his way all the way up to the 42-yard line, tackled by Hendricks Thornberry. First down and 10 for the Storm.
That's kind of why you want to, kick the Storm when they're down, because early in the year, Doyle was not doing the things that Jason Williams was doing last season when Alaska was so successful. But now later in the season, some games under his belt, some tutoring by Max Paul, he's looking like a much more Jason Williams-like running back or fullback, and that's terror for defenses.
Doyle takes the handoff again. Rumbling up the middle, actually took Sir Ron Yates for a ride on that one, Matt. Gain of 7 up to the 35-yard line. Shout out to those of you who are in the chat tonight. Wherever you might be watching this game on 11 Sports, we also have a live chat that's taking place on the 11 Sports Twitch page where you could get involved with chatting with the other players, the coaches, even the broadcasters are in on that chat. It's just crazy. You can see the chat.
Whoa!
11 Sports Twitch page is twitch.tv/11 Sports. Next, Doyle with another first down carry there, and Matt, they're on the move here.
You see the way Doyle had the vision there, picked apart that his blocking got maximum yardage.
And Matt, there's probably a good reason that Alaska is trying to just run the ball as much as possible here. This secondary for Baltimore is they've been just top notch this season. Cochran to throw here. This one complete over the middle to Jeff Como. But the defensive backs here in this secondary, 2 of them are in the top 5, and Kaz McFly and Hendricks Thornberry. They even have 3 touchdowns off of those interceptions between the 2 of them, which is truly an impressive feat. McFly actually second in the league with 8 interceptions. He does have that 1 touchdown. And Thornberry tied for 3rd with 7. 2 touchdowns for him as well. So want to try to keep it away from them as much as possible. We're going to take a short break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by 8PM Music. Back here in the eye, 2 minutes to go in the first half. Alaska looking to get some points on the board. Alaska will receive the second half kickoff too, Matt, so if they can at least even get a field goal out of this drive, it would be huge for them. That pass complete for another first down up to the 17-yard line. Follow the SFL on Twitter at SimulationFL. You can use the hashtags Make an Impact or throw it to the tight end and spread the word about the league.
And
First and 10 inside the red zone.
But yeah, if I'm Alaska here, don't even, mess with that secondary. Just keep running Doyle and running out routes and short passes.
Play action on this one.
That's not good.
That pass was complete to Klein for a loss of 2. That's not typically what we see out of Optimus.
Especially that play action is a staple of the Alaska offense. Usually it goes for good yardage, but well covered by that Baltimore secondary. Now you're put in a position. I think no, Doyle's not in again. I don't know if he's taking a breather, but a little dangerous here.
Doyle injured earlier in this game, back in it, but maybe there's Doyle right there. He was hiding that. They had him flanked out as a receiver.
As we know, even if you're a highly paid fullback, hands are
you're still a fullback.
Yeah.
No offense, Mr. Doyle, but you're still a fullback.
Well, plus that pass was behind him again, just like the prior pass. And now Alaska's in a bit of a pickle. They can't go out route. They got to go slant down the middle. Just don't chuck it into the end zone willy-nilly and, sacrifice your field goal here.
McFly and Thornberry licking their chops as Cochran's back to throw. Fires over the middle, and that one's caught for an Alaska touchdown. Robert Merrill puts some points on the board, and Alaska takes the lead.
Points off turnovers. 7 big ones there. That could really swing a game. As the old vet Cochran just clean pocket, surveys the field, and just finds his open receiver. Nice grab. 6 points. And Alaska leads.
So Alaska's able to put a touchdown on the board, and in less than a minute, no matter what, they'll end up getting the ball back. So now it's up to their defense to stop this Baltimore offense from answering back to that score.
Well, they're going to be kicking into the wind, so we'll see if Baltimore can get a decent return. Mr. Bolt, I presume.
Oh yeah, Giovanni Bolt will get this kick return. Alaska 10, Baltimore 7. Alaska with their first lead of the night. And Matt, it wouldn't surprise me at all if we see this one go back and forth, as these are absolutely two of the top teams in the league. Baltimore currently sitting at number 2, but don't be fooled. These are the 3-time defending champion Alaska Storm. Those 3 losses are not characteristic of this team, and they still have just as much chance as any team to take it all the way to the championship. So right there at number 7. Bolt with a nice return. Great tackle on special teams, though, preventing him from going any further. 51 seconds, all 3 timeouts, and 75 yards to the end zone for Baltimore. Dazzo leading his offense back out onto the field.
You know, Alaska wants to get out of that wild card situation. You play one less game to make it the championship, the better.
Trips formation to the top. Gaines takes the handoff, running up the middle, spinning his way up to the 34-yard line, and Baltimore will go into the hurry-up.
They got 3 timeouts. They're in a 3-receiver set. Not a bad set. Whoa!
Gaines rumbling up the middle and leveled. Hit hard on the play by Evan Carroll, and they burn their first timeout to regroup.
Yeah, good time for that timeout. I don't know if they had too many passes out of that formation, but Gaines did his job. He got the first down, got him to midfield almost, and remember, they have the Shark, so they just need to get a little bit closer. They can at least put 3 points on the board and tie it up before halftime.
Shark Tarkington, 18 of 19 on the season. His long is 45. Not to say that that's his range, especially not kicking in this direction, but that's the longest
50.
he's made so far. Out route to the top of your screen, Daly Holder with the reception, playing the sidelines, trying to conserve those timeouts, running out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, well, you got to be careful with that, though. Coaches in the SFL tend to be a bit on the conservative side, and that clock starts getting, in the teens, they might just shut off the kicker anyways, no matter how many timeouts you got left. So if you're Baltimore, you got to push this ball down the field. Now is when you want to take the risks, because, a pick is a punt.
4 wide receivers on the field for the Vultures. Dazzo throwing to the bottom. That one to Graham. Complete out of bounds at the 49-yard line. 3rd down and 1. And, Matt, even though there's only 29 seconds to go and it's 3rd down and 1, you have a back like T-Roy Gaines. Do you just hand it off to him here, or do you keep throwing it to try to get more yards?
Yeah, I might run it, get the first down, call a timeout, and then reassess, because
you need a fresh set of downs.
You need the first down. That's priority number 1.
Dazzo under center, offset eye. They hand it off to the fullback again, and he doesn't get it. Matt, do you think that was a mistake, not using Gaines, trying to catch him off guard?
Big mistake. I don't mind using the fullback, trying to throw him off guard, but in the key situations, the moments that count, you have to give it to Gaines if you're going to run the ball. Might as well go for it here.
Yeah, they will go for it on 4th down and 1, assuming they get this snap off. 3 seconds, 2 seconds. They do snap the ball with 1 second left, and they just check it down. And that will be the way that the first half will come to an end. Alaska 10, Baltimore 7. We will head into halftime, take a quick look at the halftime stats and highlights, and then we'll get back to this game in the second half. Alaska will receive the second half kickoff. Matt, what are your thoughts after watching these first 2 quarters?
Alaska's just been more opportunistic, If you look at those numbers there, Baltimore's got the yardage lead, but the 1 turnover and the 7 points that came out of it, and as we've seen in other leagues, points off turnovers can really sway the momentum of a game. And, I don't think Alaska's recovered from that yet.
Yeah,
Baltimore was just moving the ball down the field at will. They missed a few opportunities to score as well, but Alaska's game plan has been a little more conservative than Baltimore's. But you know what? It's paid off. You got the contracted kicker. You got the big lead, or not the big lead, a small lead, but not making mistakes. You know, you got two big heavyweight titans. You don't want to make a mistake. It could really hurt you.
You know, Baltimore on their opening drive, 13 plays, 81 yards, ending in a touchdown pass from Dazzo. Since then, Matt, they've had a 9-play, 29-yard drive that ended in a punt, 7-play drive that ended in a pick, and then a 6-play drive that ended at halftime with no points. So, you know, they came out looking very methodical. I mean, they were able to work their way right down the field. You know, a lot of short runs, short throws. Got into the end zone up early here in Alaska, which is not an easy thing to do. Alaska does not lose at home very often. It has happened a handful of times, but pretty sure you can count on one hand the amount of times that's taken place.
And now Baltimore's defense needs to step out. They can't let Alaska drive down the field and score another touchdown, because guys could have put more pressure on this Baltimore defense to throw the ball a little deeper, and that's when that Alaska defense, the secondaries and the safeties can start sniffing out the ball.
Appreciate everybody joining us tonight. I'm Mike Daggs, joined in the booth by the Hall of Fame quarterback Matt Wilson. With us on live stats tonight is the one and only Nathan Blake. Matt, he is one of the classiest people in the league. Absolutely love having Nathan Blake on the stats with us. You're not going to find a higher caliber man in this league than that man, Mr. Blake. Appreciate you always being with us. First down and 10 for Alaska from the 23-yard line. See what the Storm can get going here on this drive. Their opening drive was a 10-play, 49-yard drive. They made a field goal. On their next drive, they punted. The drive after that, 20-yard touchdown pass after 10 plays and 60 yards down the field. Cochran firing deep to get this one going. Quick gain over the middle for all the way up to the 40-yard line. Jeff Como with another reception.
Yeah, they had a double linebacker blitz, and look at how much protection Cochran had. Wide open. I thought it was a awkward-looking tackle, but everyone's okay. So, but if you're going to give Alaska 15 yards of reception, that's not good.
Jeff Como, 4 receptions for 38 yards now. Cochran, 12 of 15, just shy of 100 yards, completing 80% of his throws. Doing great tonight. That one kind of a floater to Optimus Klein. And dare I say, Matt, I didn't say it earlier, but I'm saying it now. Klein has been quiet. And I know the last time I said that, Klein went off and had like a career day. And I think that was in the second half of that game too. But only 2 catches now for 14 yards for Klein.
Yeah, I think they're going to get back to Doyle here. Well, they should have on first down probably.
Doyle with the carry all the way up to the 49-yard line. Hard hit. Brings them down. 3rd down and 1 coming up.
I think this man loves contact, though. He was ripping through a tackle right there. Just got stood up, but this is right where you want to be when Alaska. Just don't get fancy. Give it to Doyle again. Try to pick up that first down. I like this set against a 4-3. This heavy set, plenty of blocking.
Defensive line for Baltimore shifting, trying to counter what Doyle is trying to do there, but they cannot. Tackled on the play by Joe Dazzo, but not before another Alaska first down.
That's what happens when you have the fullback run. He gets it so quick that, unless something majorly bad happens in the offensive line, or, defensive line gets good penetration, you're going to get that yard at the very minimum.
First down and 10 for Alaska. Cochran firing to the corner. That one's complete. Deep pass to Jeff Como all the way up to the 19-yard line, and just like that, Alaska's in the red zone.
Yeah, if I'm you, I'm watching the top of the screen there because I think Optimus Klein got shoved to the ground by the corner there, but luckily Cochran had plan B, and it was a good one at Jeff Como. This Baltimore Vultures defense seems to be playing a lot of press man coverage, and their corners are very aggressively bumping the Alaska wide receivers, which could definitely throw off timing routes and out routes.
This is a high caliber secondary, as we talked about. So yeah, they're gonna make life difficult for these receivers as much as possible. But Jeff Como is just absolutely having a field day with them right now, just having his way. whatever he wants to do. First down and goal from the 9-yard line.
Yeah, and Cochran will spread the ball around. If Como's not open or Klein's not open, better pay attention to Merrill or Como because they're all vets. They've been on this team a long time. They know how the system works. And here we go, press man. Let's see if Cochran can get something going here. If Baltimore can stop him.
Cochran to pass, fires over the middle. That one is caught. Gains his way up to the 3-yard line. It'll be a second down and goal.
Yeah, you can't go to the man on the top of the screen. He's getting shoved down every play. So, Cochran's gonna have to go to his second, third reads if the top of the screen is his number one. But he could do that. He's a vet.
Split backs in the backfield. Prime position for a Doyle run here. They do indeed hand it off to him, but wrapped up and tackled after a gain of 2, brought down by Amon Takes.
You know what I would do?
Do it again?
Yep. No reason not to.
I figured you'd say that, Matt. Yeah, Doyle still just pounding that rock, gaining yards at will, 5.5 per carry on average right now. He only needs 1 to get into the end zone, but Cochran will throw. Pressure coming.
Oh.
Cochran avoiding the sack. Not that time. Ouch. My gosh, who was that? Number 95, Tucker Lewis, the defensive tackle that was just signed this week, leveling Cochran for the sack.
Oh, God, he just got shoulder tackled there.
That is a big man. 6'4", 318 pounds of Tucker Lewis just landed right on the chest of Ron Cochran.
One of my old country boys there putting buffets out of business since birth. It's a big hold by Baltimore.
Field goal try coming up for DeHood. This one from 23 yards out from the right hash. Kick is up, and it's good. Alaska extends their lead by 3. 13-7 here in Anchorage. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Stay with us. One-score ball game here midway through the third quarter. Baltimore about to get the ball back, see if they can answer what Alaska was just able to do.
Bye-bye, ball.
Yeah, goodbye. Oh, he does take it, but he downs it in the end zone. Bolt with his third knee on the night. You just don't see that very often, especially not by Bolt. But when it's that deep in the end zone, I guess that's a smart play.
Yeah, definitely. But now Baltimore's got to recreate that first drive magic because they've not had much luck since.
That is in large part right there why Gaines has been kind of held in check. Gained 42 yards, but averaging only 3.8 per carry. I know he's got to be kicking himself about that. He likes to get 5, 6, 7-yard chunks at a time. Gains 3 there. Up to the 23-yard line. Second down and 7. Rushing leaders in the league right now, Reggie Streeter just running away with it, no pun intended. All right, there might have been a pun intended there, but T-Roy Gaines right there at number 5, Matt. He's one of the best, and just being held in check by this Alaska defense tonight.
Yep, and he can't stay that way. Like I said at the top of the program, it's very important to get the running game established.
Out route down to the bottom of the screen is complete. Wasn't sure if he had gotten his foot down, but Holder does indeed get that catch. Carries his momentum out of bounds to the 27-yard line. 3rd down and 3 coming up.
And I don't want to say it, but on this 3rd and 3, I would throw it to the tight end.
Well, why would you not want to say it?
Well,
you absolutely want to say it.
It's like my 5th option.
He's even wearing number 83, Matt. But instead, they will hand it off to Gaines, and he fumbles the ball. Recovered by Baltimore.
First down, lucky them.
Yeah, recovered, and And after the first down marker, Ted McClintock, the tackle with that recovery. Whew, that was close.
Luckily, T-Roy got that fumble out of the way. Usually running backs don't fumble too much in the SFL. So if you're going to fumble, at least your team recovers it for a first down.
Trips formation on the field. Dazzo under pressure and is able to throw it off his back foot. Finds Gaines, gaining his way up to the 42-yard line for a first down. And Matt Gaines isn't usually used very heavily in the passing game. He's more of a run-first sort of guy. 22 carries for 126 yards and 3 touchdowns in their last game against Oklahoma City. He averaged 5.7 yards per carry in that game. But I guess when he's on the field, you got to use him however you can. And
yeah, but how about the nifty footwork by Dazzo? He's under rush, got his feet planted, and made a nice throw to Gaines. So the old vet's been around a long time. Longer than me, I believe it.
Dazzo in the league for 8 seasons now. Chucking that one up to Bishop Warfield. Good for a gain of 6 up to the 47-yard line. 4 minutes, 44 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Dazzo liked what he saw, altered his delivery angle there, or throwing angle, and got it right to the man. Good gain, 6 yards. Maybe time to give it back to T-Roy, see what he can do.
Warfield, the leading receiver here on this Baltimore offense. 61 catches coming into the game tonight, 750 yards and 4 touchdowns. Dazzo finding him at the top of the screen again. Shorter gain that time, out of bounds at midfield to bring up a 3rd down and 2.
Well, they are moving the ball, but very slowly, which is fine. But now you got to convert on a crucial 3rd down. So, you know what I like to do? I just like to spread it out, see what the defense gives you, and if it doesn't look good running-wise, which is my primary option, I'll do a pass. But it looks like we might see T-Roy here.
Offset I formation on 3rd down and 2. Dazzo will throw. Quick pass over the middle. That one's not only incomplete, but then picked off. Tip drill is picked off by the Alaska Storm defense. Ryan Tobin with his 4th interception on the season, and that's going to put an end to the Baltimore Vultures drive.
I think you try to throw it to the frustrated fullback, and as we've seen, hands are not the best.
Well, that was the backup tight end, Ty Jordan. Let's see what Alaska can do on the other side of this break. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Alaska taking over on offense after a Mike Dazzo interception. Dazzo, the number 1 quarterback in the league in completion percentage, but throwing another pick there. 2 picks last week as well, and Matt, that can be the difference in ball games. Cochran taking advantage early on this drive as he gets that one complete over the middle. Slant route good to Jeff Como for a first down.
This Baltimore defense is all confused right now. They're going to go slant out. They're going to run Doyle. Everything seems to be working. That's terrifying if you're a defense.
Cochran 18 of 21 now on the day. Carrot hands that ball off to Doyle. Gosh, he's like a Mack truck just running straight up the middle, knocking people over out of the way. Down goes Tony Willis. Looks like he just got shot. Doyle with 12 rushing attempts for 71 yards. He's averaging nearly 6 yards per carry.
Well, like I said, it looks like my prediction is coming true so far.
Cochran out route to the bottom of the screen. That one complete to Optimus Klein. Positive yardage out of Klein for really the first time tonight. 5-yard gain there will bring up a 2nd down and 5.
It's so hard to play defense against Alaska. If you bring pressure, they tend to run those shorter routes, and you're just, they're just wide open. So you kind of have to play good coverage and stop the running game, which Baltimore has struggled to do.
Yeah, Baltimore stacking the box here. They saw Doyle running on that one. They knew it. That's what they're going to need to do. Now, but That's the problem, though. I mean, they got a nice stop there, 3rd down and 4. But now, I mean, it almost plays right into Alaska's wheelhouse because
Yep.
you can hand it off to Doyle for 4 yards, and if they stack the box, then you throw it. You have so many receiving options. You
Yeah,
can
and
you can do whatever you want, and out of this formation, they could do either one.
correct. And watch the top and see if we get bumps. Nope.
Slant over the middle.
Oh!
That one's incomplete. Finally, a break goes the Baltimore defense's way. That one is incomplete. It'll bring up a 4th down and 4, but it's from the Baltimore 25 to Hood coming out onto the field for a long field goal try. But for a man like him, that one's going to be a chip shot.
I think the Hood could kick this with his other leg and make it with his wind situation.
I bet he could kick it backwards, just like off the back of his heel.
Ooh.
We'll see. We'll do a regular field goal here, Matt. 42 yards from the left hash. High snap. Gets it down. Kick is on its way. It's still going over the net into the crowd. Souvenirs for everyone. The kick is good. Alaska extends their lead 16-7 over Baltimore. And Matt, now it's a 2.
Holy crap. It's
Look at
still
that ball.
going.
Rips right through the net. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. It's the Fan Night Game of the Week. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Stay with us. We're back at the Eye in Anchorage, Alaska. I'm Mike Daggs, joined in the booth by the Hall of Fame quarterback of the Mexico City Aztecs. He goes by the Bronze Bomber, but actually named Matt Wilson. With us on live stats tracking tonight is the one and only Nathan Blake. Giovanni Bolt kneeling that one in the end zone, and Baltimore will take over on their own 20-yard line. Speaking of live stats, Matt, Baltimore has just struggled after that first possession. Starting off with the ball, 13 plays, 81 yards, and a touchdown pass. Since then, a punt, an interception. They ran out of time at the end of the half, and their only possession here in the second half ended in another pick. Dazzle's got to get it turned around, tries to hit Warfield, but that one is ruled incomplete. Stepped out of bounds before catching that ball. So appreciate everybody joining us tonight. You're watching the Simulation Football League here on 11 Sports. You can visit our website, simulationfl.net, and join our Discord server. The link is in the top right corner of the screen. If you don't know what Discord is, don't worry about that. Just click on it and you will learn. It's a free app, free software you can put on your computer or your phone. Join our Discord community and get involved. You can get your own player on one of these teams and hear your name called out, just like T-Roy Gaines, who just got that completion up to the 27-yard line for a gain of 7 will bring up 3rd down and 3 for the Vultures.
I don't think. I know you don't. They don't use Gaines in that way, but in this game, I think it'd be very smart for them to use him in that way, because he's had trouble really gaining yards the old-fashioned way. So when you see that, you're like, well, how else can I get my back involved? That's a good way to do it.
Yeah, use him however you can. Gaines takes the handoff there, Matt, right at the line. Frank Champion in on that tackle. Very short gain will bring up a 4th and 2, and too early to just go for this one, Matt?
Yeah, but it feels like Alaska's up 30. I don't know why. I just they're the way they're playing, the way their offense is playing. They're not going to turn the ball over, I don't believe, barring a disaster. And they just pick you apart. And if it's just another field goal, it's just it's a death by 1,000 needle pokes.
Yeah. Yeah, Alaska has not turned the ball over yet, so first time for everything, but not yet as that punt's taken up to the 42-yard line. Less than a minute to go here in the third quarter, so time's certainly not in Baltimore's favor per se, but enough time that you can certainly turn this one around. But it starts now with the defense. They need to do something and put a stop to this drive, as you see Kaz McFly just itching for a pick. If you like the Simulation Football League on Facebook, Facebook.com/simulationfl. That one checked down. Oh, EJ Minson absolutely leveled. Giovanni Bolt says, "Sit down, rookie."
And Minson says, "Ha ha, I got the first down. That's all that matters."
Yep.
It's like you can make a great hit and feel psyched, but to me, it's kind of useless if you allowed 10 yards. So get that picked, and then you can celebrate or cause a fumble.
Yeah, I think that I was going to say, I think that might have been what Bolt was going for there, is trying to force that ball out of the rookie's hands. Cochran to throw on first down, checks it down over the middle. Quick dump off there. Good for a gain of 9. Pass was hauled in by P.J. Hernandez. 2nd down and 1.
That zone was so soft. I think I could have thrown that. Even the Bronze Bomber could have thrown a wild duck in there and completed that one.
You do throw some questionable looking throws, Matt. They just go fluttering down the field. 3 quarters of play are in the books. Alaska 16, Baltimore 7. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. Tonight's Simulation Football League broadcast on the 11 Sports Network is brought to you in part by Nation's Best Football, helping NFL, college, high school, and youth players to help secure the bag. By ScoreStream, the official live scoring app of the SFL. By Sector 6, custom esports jerseys and apparel and the exclusive SFL shop provider. And by SpyGoat, dedicated to the craft of audio. Aerial shots such as these beautiful shots of the mountains here in Alaska, brought to you by AirViews, united by drone. Visit airviews.com to see more drone footage. That's AIRVUZ.com. New addition to our production this season, Matt, was these aerial shots, and it's been fun, although some of them can make you feel sick when the drone goes wild. Doyle with the handoff on first down, trucking through the defender. He's been gaining about 6 yards per carry. He says, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and double that. Rumbling his way up to the 27-yard line, 1st down and 10, Alaska.
And this is the danger now. If they start going to Doyle, now they're in field goal range. Almost, 99% chance it'll be made. So it's tough playing catch up when you can't score touchdowns. If Baltimore was close to their average, they're it's 24-16, different ball game, but
right.
It's that big fat little 7 on the board, big fat little 7. Anyway,
that is expert analysis right there.
it's
The big
it's
fat
it's a
little seven.
it's a skinny fat 7.
None of that makes any sense. My goodness. Minson takes the check down in the backfield. Plenty of room to run. Wasn't even touched until he got up to about the 13-yard line. They'll bring him down at the 12. And, Baltimore's just in very dangerous territory here, Matt, as you were just talking about him. If Alaska can get a touchdown on the board, this game might already be out of hand.
Yeah, and I don't know what the heck's going on with Baltimore's defense. They just look totally, and I hate using this word, but deflated.
Yeah.
They're nowhere near the ball. They're not attacking. They're just reacting, and that's never a good thing when you're a defense. You want to flow to the ball. You want to attack the routes. And they're not doing anything like that. They're kind of hanging back too much.
Cochran has time, throws towards the end zone. That one's caught all the way up to the 2-yard line. Robert Merrill with the reception has the 1 touchdown earlier. He hasn't caught a lot of balls, but he's got that touchdown, getting it all the way down to the 2, 2nd and inches.
You know what I do?
Well, you'd probably hand it off to Doyle, would be my guess.
Yes, but he's not in.
He's not in, so maybe you hand it off to Minson.
Maybe
4
around-
wide, though.
Could be a swing pass to the bottom.
Trips formation to the left side of the set. Minson open, throws,
Oh!
nearly intercepted. McFly drops it off of the tip. Thornberry tipped it into the air, and McFly dropped it. That's characteristic of both of them. I mean, we saw earlier on in the game the interception leaderboard, McFly at number 2, Thornberry at number 3. These guys don't drop. They're as good as catching as wide receivers are, Matt, and they dropped.
Not that play.
Both of them dropped it there. Offset eye, hands it off to Doyle up the middle, and he's in for the touchdown. Baltimore lets another one in as Alaska puts even more points on the board.
You know what that sound is?
What's that, Matt?
A toilet flusher.
Oh my goodness. That bad, huh?
I don't know if you got it. I would challenge that.
At this point, you almost have to, because this lead, 15-point lead right now, and then extra point try coming up.
I don't think you got it.
Looks like we're not going to see the challenge. It was close.
He might have gotten the first down, but not the touchdown.
Yeah, I saw him get hit, and I was looking at the refs. I saw the hands go in the air, so I wasn't sure. But they're calling it a touchdown. Snap is away, so no challenge to be seen here. Alaska 23, Baltimore 7. This one could be getting quickly out of hand, Matt.
Baltimore does not want to lose and drop to 8-2, and look at that.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that mix. Yeah, there's 4 teams. Well, Baltimore would make it 4 teams at 8-2. Chicago had the opportunity, lost by 1 point earlier tonight to Houston. They could have also been 8-2, but still at 7-3 with 2 games left. If they win out, then they're 9-3, and who knows what can happen to all those other 8-2 teams. So there's just so much in that top 6 that could go any direction right now. Every single win these next couple of weeks and here tonight are absolutely crucial. See Alaska sitting there at number 7. They're looking to knock Chicago out of that number 6 place and cement their position here in the playoff race. Top 10 teams in the SFL make it into the playoffs. Queen City sitting on the edge right there at number 10. 21 teams in the league. So nearly half make it in. That pass incomplete. 2nd down and 10 for Baltimore.
I don't think in all my years of watching the SFL, I've seen a team so convincingly drive down the field and score on their first possession and then do absolutely nothing the rest of the game.
Yeah, and I mean, you're spot on. A punt, a pick, end of half, another pick, another punt, and now here we are in their 7th drive of the ball game. No gain on the first play. Offset eye, they hand it off to the fullback. No gain. No gain on that one, and I think it might be a little bit too late for the fullback run at this point. You just need to put the ball into the sky now and trust your receivers to start making some plays.
Yeah, I know I can be harsh on some of these teams with their play calling, and I apologize to the owners, but that play needs to get the kibosh.
And apparently it needs to go down the toilet that you said flushed earlier.
Yes.
Tasso to throw, fires over the middle, tipped. And that one's incomplete, 4th down and 10, and now I think they'd have to go for it, but they are backed up all the way to their own 20, so maybe not as they trot Gates out onto the field.
Ugh. I would go for it. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
23-7. I mean, the way Doyle is running, I mean, you just run him 3 times and punt. I mean, that's going to burn up a lot of clock. And even if you stop them, they're going to get the ball probably about the 40-yard line. They could even get into Q's range and the Hewed, and then it would be even more insurmountable. So we'll see what happens.
Punt goes back to the 40. Merrill brings it all the way up to the 47. Decent return there. We'll see what Alaska can do. I expect another heavy dose of J.W. Doyle. We'll find out after the break. Don't go anywhere. More football action is just around the corner. You're watching the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports. We're back here at the I. Alaska out in front in this one, 23-7 over the 8-1 Baltimore Vultures, and that's a big reason why right there is Doyle rumbles up the middle for a gain of 6, and you can see he's averaging 5.7. Just make that 6. We'll go ahead and round that up for you, Doyle. 6 yards per carry on the night. 8 minutes to go in the ball game.
Doing mad math, if you run it twice, boom, first down.
That's right. 6 plus 6 is indeed 12, Matt. That is some good math from the Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he ends on that.
That's right, the both of you. There you go, another 6 right there, right on cue. First down and 10 up to the 40-yard line, and the clock will continue to run. Appreciate everybody joining us tonight for the Fan Night Game of the Week. Voting for the Week 12 Fan Night Game of the Week will start just about immediately following the conclusion of this game. We are watching the final game of Week 11 right now. There are no games on Tuesday night this week. There will also be no games Tuesday night next week.
Oh, my Lord. Doyle.
Keep your eyes peeled for some Saturday action. Yeah, Doyle's just, same thing as the past 2 plays, Matt. 6 yards up the middle, 2nd and 4. They just can't stop him.
I would just run the clock all the way down, give it to Doyle again and again and again until his legs fall off.
Yeah.
He's already fallen down once, and I probably Baltimore is wishing he'd stayed out of the game.
Yeah, and that was such a huge possible momentum shifter.
Oh!
Great coverage on that play. Cochran looking for the flag. Come on, Ron. It's 23-7. I think you're okay.
That's some grade A coverage right there for once.
Yeah, that was good coverage on that one. 3rd down and 4 coming up.
I give it to Doyle because you're against the wind. You want to get in field goal range, just put more points on the board. And, well, he's not in, but
he might be flanked out wide again.
He could be.
Hard to see from way up here at the eye. Cochran throws that one over the middle. That one is complete. Hauled in by Robert Merrill. Another first down up to the 25-yard line. And, Matt, I think it's probably safe to say any points for Alaska at this point, and they can go ahead and add another win to that win column.
I would say if they get, just keep running the ball, it doesn't matter about points. The more they bleed this clock, it's horrifying. Oh, there's a nice stop.
A rare stop of Doyle at the line. He gains 1. Amon takes with the tackle. J.W. Doyle over 100 yards on the night now, Matt, with 19 carries for 108 yards and a touchdown. If this one does indeed go the way that it looks like it will go, he is definitely in the mix for player of the game, if not just literally and figuratively running away with it. Although Jeff Como, with his 8th catch, now putting him over 100 yards. So who knows?
Look at this throw by Cochran. I thought he was going to the short guy, but he decides, nah, I want a little bit more yards. Both were open. And again, soft in the middle. Not many hands. Usually we see a lot of batted balls in the SFL. I make that joke about players getting hands on balls. We haven't really seen that tonight at all from this Baltimore defense, except for that last pass that Cochran wanted PI on.
Doyle up the middle, fumbling his way all the way up to the 2, second and goal from the 2-yard line. And yeah, Matt, Ron Cochran having an absolutely fantastic night. First, we'll take a look at the halfback comparison, and it just has not been T. Roy Gaines night to night. J.W. Doyle getting it done on the ground. But Ron Cochran looking great through the air, 25 of 31. You know, I talked about how Mike Dazzo of Baltimore has the #1 completion percentage in the league. Doyle pushing his way into the end zone for another Alaska touchdown, and that might just be the final nail in the coffin. But you know, Dazzo came into the game with the highest completion percentage in the league for quarterbacks, but Ron Cochran is winning that battle here tonight, Matt. Over 80% of his passes.
Look at this run by Doyle, though. I thought he was stopped in the backfield. Just
kept those legs moving. Yep.
Scoring. And how terrified must you be if any other team in the SFL right now? You thought Alaska lost last week. They looked confused. They looked, not themselves. If they drop this game, it's just, they limp into the playoffs maybe. Now they're beating one or first or second best team in the SFL perhaps. They're just destroying them.
Yeah, they're just having their way with them. And it's not even just the fact that they're putting up points on offense. It's what the defense has been able to do to this Baltimore offense. And it's something that a lot of teams have had difficulty with this season is, Baltimore's just been piling on points. Talked about it in the opening and a few times throughout the game, averaging 32 points per game. And here they are with 5 minutes to go in the ball game with only 7 points on the board. It's just very uncharacteristic of them. They have, a great running back in T. Roy Gaines that usually can average them 117 yards per game, and that just has not been the case. When you have a guy like Alex Dominguez, Matt, we talked about how he's been kind of quiet on the season even. He was almost non-existent last week, which might have helped Queen City, get the win against the Storm last week. Queen City winning 28-13. But Dominguez has been just plugging up the middle and making it almost impossible for Gaines to do anything.
It's been a rough day at both sides of the ball for Baltimore.
Dazzo, quick pass over the middle to Daley Holder. When he's caught up at the 35-yard line, they will go into the hurry-up now.
It just seemed when they committed that turnover, everything changed. The whole momentum changed. I spoke about that earlier, and it just seemed to have snowballed in Alaska. Funny.
Off target throw there as you see Big Sexy filling the entire screen because, he's the Marshmallow Man, as Matt Wilson calls him. Matt, I hope you see Alex Dominguez face to face someday. I want to see you call him the Marshmallow Man to his face.
Hey, Mr. Stay Puft, how you doing?
Matt, I've always got your back, but I might have to leave on that one. Check down to Gaines in the backfield. He'll get a first down and leveled. Taken down on the play by Andrew Francis. First down and 10 from the 41-yard line. 4.5 to go in the ball game. Offset I formation on first down. Dazzo to Gaines again. Gaines breaking the tackle, but steps out of bounds at the 47-yard line. That'll stop the clock.
Yeah, I say that would have been, more of that. More getting those nice 5-6 yard gains on first down, putting your team in a better position. Because I don't know, it just seems these series for Baltimore, offensive series, have just kind of been, they just blur together into a bunch of a black hole of nothingness.
Yeah, it's just been a lot of short runs and short passes. There's a sack right there.
I think that was the sexy one.
Oh, that is. Well, how can you miss it? He's the widest man on the field, man. Yes. That was absolutely Alex Dominguez. Now with double-digit sacks on the season. An impressive feat once again for Dominguez. Man, he's good for double-digit sacks every year. I think that's almost an automatic when you have Alex Dominguez on your defensive line.
Yeah, I mean, you could write his entire sack total on his body easily. He's a wide man for a reason. He gets double digits.
4 wide for Baltimore on 4th down. Now they're going to go for it. Dazzo fires over the middle, and they will convert this 4th down attempt, keeping this one going. Pass taken at the 42-yard line as we tick down inside 4 minutes. Dazzo, short drop, fires that one, swatted away. Ryan Davidson in on the coverage.
Just see how that's a very similar play that Alaska ran, that slant, but the coverage was just so much tighter.
And you know, Matt, there was one game that Baltimore played a few weeks ago that was eerily similar to this one. Sioux Falls Sparrows, and it almost even more lopsided. The Sioux Falls Sparrows hosted the Baltimore Vultures in Sioux Falls, and same sort of deal. They just had their way with them. 49-30 was the final score of that one. And those 30 points that Baltimore put up, a lot of those were near the end of the game. Sioux Falls in command of that game the entire time, and that's Baltimore's only loss. So you wonder if the coaching staff is just trying to do different things. You see a flag on that play. It's roughing the passer? Or?
I don't know. I'll have to see. Holding, maybe?
Holding, number 77.
And it is indeed a holding call, so that will be declined. Dominguez just ripping his way through again. Kirk Lawrence called for the hold. That's the guard that's been going up against Dominguez all night, and that's just been a little bit too much for him to handle, it seems.
I was wearing him down over the course of the game, and I was just like, please get this, please, no more marshmallows.
Well, Kirk Lawrence, 6'3", 330 pounds. Dominguez, 6'2", 300 pounds. That's beef on beef right there.
Like
4th down and 1. Baltimore trying to see if they can convert 2 4th downs on one drive, and they can indeed. Warfield with the catch up to the 25-yard line. But Baltimore really needs to get points on the board faster.
Yeah, they're just playing back.
Side-arming that one over the middle. What a catch by Warfield, getting it down to the 7. Now is when he needs to take some shots at the end zone.
For sure.
Dazzo back to throw, fires to the end zone, tipped and incomplete. Coverage by Frank Champion.
Yeah, now Alaska's playing back, just trying not to let the big play happen. They're up 30-7. Now is where they can be more aggressive on defense and send some heat, play a little tighter coverage, and because the end zone's right there.
Frank Champion coming over from Vancouver in free agency this past offseason. 6'4" middle linebacker, great at patrolling the middle of the field for this Alaska defense, swatting that pass down there. Dazzo to throw on 2nd and goal, checks it down to Gaines. Gaines with room, one man to beat. He can't do it. Gets tackled by Davidson.
The clock is
back
ticking.
to the line. Inside 3 minutes, 3rd down and goal. Dazzo fires, almost picked off right into the hands of Ryan Tobin, but he drops it, trying to hit Warfield. And now they're going to attempt their 3rd 4th down conversion on this drive.
And I said earlier about hands on balls, where Alaska's gotten a lot of hands on those balls on this drive, and we'll see. They need one more stop to put this game on ice.
Yeah, absolutely. Inside 3 minutes, both teams still with all their timeouts, but if they can get the stop here and start handing it off to Doyle, they can quickly run this clock out. Dazzo with the hard count to throw, fires into the end zone, caught in the back of the end zone for a touchdown and a late hit. So Baltimore finally gets a 2nd touchdown on the board, their first points since the opening drive.
Late hit, number 49.
Well, Baltimore is going to try an onside kick, so if they can convert it, they'll be further down the field. And if they don't, if they don't,
so
then,
where's this kickoff going to be from? Midfield?
Not sure. I'll have to see.
40,
45?
Is the penalty just? Oh, I think the penalty is
maybe
assessed on the extra point, Matt.
Oh well, that's just. I I guess it's.
I'd go for 2.
Yeah, why not? Get as many points.
Just to get the points, but
15 to 30. Yeah, 15 to 30 would be. Need one less 2-point conversion.
Yeah, may as well try to get it out of the way now. But no, they're gonna go for the extra point here. Kick is up and it's good by Tarkington. 30-14 your score, and onside kick coming up.
Yeah, I'm trying to do the math, but math's hard. 2 more touchdowns. Yeah, they
Well,
needed
it's
to.
2 touchdowns and 2 2-point conversions just to tie.
Yeah, they should. Yeah.
So it all starts with this here. See if they can get this, and they cannot. Easily recovered by the hands team of the Alaska Storm, and I expect to see some J.W. Doyle action, followed by some timeouts from Baltimore. And once those are all burned up, that's going to potentially spell the end of the game for the Vultures. Looking like they might be suffering their second loss of the season. Not the birthday gift that Lloyd Graham Jr. had in mind, Matt.
No, he got Cole.
He got Cole for, I thought that was a Christmas thing. Doyle, no, that's not even Doyle, Matt. Looks like Alaska has elected to rest Doyle at this point since he was injured earlier in the game. You don't want to risk re-injury. Joshua Paul back out onto the field. We saw him filling in for Doyle earlier, and he takes that one up the middle, and he gains 5. Second down and 5 from the 34-yard line. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go in the ball game. Alaska 30, Baltimore 14.
Well, Baltimore can't stop the backup fullback. They got some serious problems on their hands.
Alaska letting this clock tick down as much as possible. Paul with the handoff. Met by Amon takes right at the line. Third down and 4 will happen after this 2-minute break. We will see you on the other side. You're watching the Simulation Football League presented by APM Music on 11 Sports. First timeout.
Yeah,
Matt, you've been with the league for quite a while now.
Yeah.
Been a lot of people joining recently. Expansion's got to be exciting, especially for wily old veterans like you who have been with them from nearly the beginning. Not all the way back in the beginning for you, but you've been around for quite some time.
That's Ramos. He was born from the league.
He was the league's first baby. as that carry is taken straight up the middle. Matt, they're actually running it to backup wide receivers now, as wide receiver Jose Galliano takes that carry.
Looks like he had some get up and go.
So if you'd like to learn more about our league, like I said, head over to simulationfl.net and click the link to join our Discord community. There are all kinds of people waiting in Discord right now and really at all hours of the day and night. Sometimes it's actually scary how many people are out there chatting at 4 a.m. Sometimes it's just borderline ridiculous. But join and
way to make our league sound crazy.
Oh, well, Matt, there are some characters in this league. You have to admit, this is a league that features Ray Bentley. Need I say more?
I like Ham.
Well, so does Bentley. All sorts of personalities await you if you join the league. It's a great group here, great community. All sorts of things you can do, too. You can create your own player. You could also join the live stats team. Nathan Blake on stats for us tonight here. He's done a fantastic job keeping us up to date on what's going on. As always, Nathan, appreciate you being here. And you can join Nathan on that stats team, or you could join our beat writing team and write articles for our website, headed up by none other than the wily, wacky Ray Bentley. And there's also the broadcast team. You could join Matt and I and our whole crew. We've got about 30 in the broadcast team now. It's crazy how much that's grown, too. just even in the past couple seasons. All sorts of stuff you could do, but it all starts with joining that Discord community, simulationfl.net. Click that link. Low snap on this field goal try. Kick is up, and it is good. Perfect on the night. That one from 33 yards out, and that'll bring the score to 33-14. Alaska is going to take the win in this one.
DQ looked like he was kicking in slow motion there. He's like, I think I'll just
I'll take my time and just give it a little tappy tap.
just tap it in.
That's it.
Send the ball to its home, through the uprights.
Giovanni Bolt waiting back at about his own 10-yard line, looking for this kickoff. We'll have to back up just a smidge.
They could use it. Touchdown at kickoff, and then another onside opportunity.
Back to
It'll
his
keep things interesting.
goal line. See if Bolt can get another kick return for a touchdown. And big number 78 there had some different plans. Gerald Thomas leveling Bolt back at the 21-yard line. Minute 3 to go in this one. If Alaska gets the ball back, it is over. Alaska looking to extend their win column to 7. They'll be 7-3, and with the win tonight and a loss by Chicago earlier, they will claim that number 6 spot in the playoff race. Graham with the catch over the middle up to the 33-yard line.
Is this the first time I've seen them run a no back shotgun? Interesting.
Better late than never, I guess, but they could have used some more of these passing plays a little earlier. You know, Baltimore, statistically speaking anyway, a little bit more centered around the run than the pass, you know, relying heavily on T-Roy Gaines. You know, they're in the top 5 in average running yards per game, a little bit further down in passing yards per game compared to other teams, but overall the number 2 scoring offense in the league, and just not getting those points tonight. Graham with another reception, this one up to the 41-yard line. They'll hurry back to the line.
Need to go a little deeper. They're still dinking and dunking even from the gun. They got some receivers. Throw it deep to Warfield.
Continuing to pad the stats for the birthday boy Graham. They will clock this one with 28 seconds to go. In Alaska territory, but still 48 yards from the end zone.
Yeah, you just got to dial up all go. Fly routes for everyone. Not Hail Mary. Just see if you can get someone on a one-on-one situation that's, beat their man, and Dazzo just has to fling the heck out of it. But not a great stat line for Dazzo tonight.
33 of 47 for Dazzo, 263 yards. He did complete over 70% of his passes, but 2 touchdowns mirrored with 2 picks is going to be the difference in this one. Graham, first down up to the 34-yard line. Looking at Ron Cochran's stat line, 23 of 29. He was actually able to keep it under 30 passes. Not something he does all that often, as he's been known to let it rip. 233 yards and a touchdown. So a clean game, not a huge stat line for Cochran, but no turnovers on Alaska's side. And it looks like that could end up being the difference in this one, Matt. As you mentioned earlier, points off turnovers can be the deal breaker in any game.
Yeah, like I said, once Alaska got that first pick from Dazzo, when Dazzo tried to go deep, game changed. Game flipped.
Dazzo checks it down to Gaines. Gaines gets the first down up to the 20-yard line, tackled in bounds, 15 to go.
Got to angle that out of bounds because you don't have any timeouts to use.
Tried to get 1 extra yard there. Dazzo spikes it, 8 seconds to go. Get one more shot towards the end zone, perhaps, maybe 2. And that'll do it for us here in Alaska. Matt, Alaska, the 3-time consecutive defending champions. They've had some games this season where they haven't been able to put up the points, and they've actually had 3 losses, which, if I'm not mistaken, has been more losses than they've had in the last 2 seasons combined, or potentially tied. Dazzo firing towards the end zone, tip.
Oh,
that's going to do it.
Cherry on the Sunday
is taken away. Another turnover for this Alaska defense. They came to play tonight here in front of their home crowd.
Yeah, one of the backups getting some action there, and nice tip drill, grab, and hangs onto the ball. And now the favorite formation in all of football, for one team at least, the victory formation.
Well, you got to be careful to not kneel in the end zone. Don't back up too far, Ron. It looks like they're actually not even going to kneel it because they are so close.
Smart move.
Offside eye, one last handoff to whoever they have in the fullback position this time. They've been using a whole bunch of different people tonight. That'll do it for us here in Alaska. Your final score, Alaska 33, Baltimore 14. Alaska will extend the win column to 7. They're now 7-3 with the number 6 spot in the playoff race. Baltimore will fall to 8-2, now in the mix with 3 other teams, so 4 teams at 8-2 now. Alaska is going to stay home next week. They will host Sioux Falls, who absolutely manhandled the Baltimore Vultures earlier this season, so we'll see how Sioux Falls can do here in Alaska. Then Alaska will head to Houston on the road to finish up their season. For Baltimore, they will go home next week and they will host Chicago, who just fell to Houston. And then they end their season on the road as well as they head to Buffalo, New York to take on the Queen City Corsairs. Matt, your final thoughts on this one?
Well, I mean, I kind of called it at the beginning of the game in my intro where I thought the winner of this game is going to have the more effective running game within their system, which I thought meant that Gaines might outgain Doyle, but Doyle would, move the chains when necessary. Well, not only did Doyle move the chains when necessary, he definitely outgained Gaines, and I think that was a big difference in this ball game tonight.
J.W. Doyle with 480 yards on the ground coming into tonight through 10 weeks of play. They've played 9 games, obviously, so far up until this one. So 480 yards through 9 games and 118 just in tonight alone, getting a quarter of those yards in one game. So definitely an impressive game from Doyle that I wasn't even expecting to see out of him either, Matt. So that'll wrap up this one. Voting for the Week 12 Fan Night Game of the Week will begin shortly. Voting takes place in our Discord server. It's in the Who You Got channel. If you're not part of our Discord community yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. We've mentioned it a few times tonight. Visit our website, simulationfl.net. Click the link to join the Discord community. It's a blast. It really is. Like I said, there's so many different ways to get involved, whether it be having a player on a team, you can become a scout for a team. Ultimately, you could become a coach, and someday down the road, maybe even own a team of your own. It's time to look at the player of the game. It is none other than J.W. Doyle, 115 yards and 2 touchdowns, 5.5 yards per carry. That is how you get that award, Matt. This has been a presentation of the Simulation Football League on 11 Sports, presented by APM Music. For Matt Wilson, Nathan Blake, our commissioner and producer, Cameron Irvine, and everyone here at the Simulation Football League and 11 Sports, I'm Mike Dagg saying thank you for joining us and goodbye, everyone.